Welcome back to the Caregiver Minute, where every weekday family and professional caregivers gather to refine their skills, gain inspiration, and prepare to serve. When someone that we're serving is exhibiting behavior that's out of character and challenging and not at all like they would have behaved earlier in life, oftentimes people ask, why? And that's a good question to start with. Why are they behaving that way? What are they communicating? But I think having a more structured framework for figuring out the why can be helpful. There are a lot of different reasons why someone might be doing something. So it can be helpful to consider 4 categories. First of all, cognitive. Are there cognitive reasons that someone might be behaving the way that they are? Maybe they can't process language very well. That's a cognitive problem. And if we're saying too many words, we're putting them in a tough situation, and we're not playing to their strengths. If someone doesn't understand spatial relationships very well, or if they have visual processing problems and they're stepping off the curb because they can't see where the sidewalk ends and the gutter begins, then that's a cognitive problem, and it helps us understand why someone might be engaging in certain behaviors. We can also consider physical problems. Is the person behaving the way they are because they're too cold? Or are they too hot? Or is their clothing irritating to them? Are they feeling sick? Are they in pain? Or any one of 1,000 other physical kinds of things that could be driving their situation. We might ask why in the context of psychosocial challenges. Are they hallucinating? Are they experiencing depression? Is this an anxiety response? The 4th category that we can consider is often what I call the silent caregiver. It's the environment itself. There's so much about the environment that influences the way that people living with dementia respond to it. They're living moment to moment as if they're on stage in a perpetual improv act, and the props that are on stage and the way that the stage is set dictates a lot about how the action goes. So what is it environmentally that might be influencing them? Is it that there's a door in an obvious place and it's cueing them to think about leaving? Or are they watching people go out that door right in front of them? Is the space too noisy? Does the space look residential and they think they're in their home and that's triggering the kind of behavior that we're seeing? Or is the space really large? And the cue in that environment is, oh, this is a public space. And maybe their behavior is driven by the fact that they think they're in a public space. Maybe they think they need to go home to their home instead of being in that public area. Well, as you can see, there are a lot of different ways that we could find answers to that question, why? I invite you today to think about one situation you've seen with a person or some of the people that you're serving, and think through that 4-step framework that helps us find the answer to why. What could be going on cognitively? What about physically? Are there psychosocial factors, or are there environmental factors that are playing into why this thing is occurring? I hope that's helpful to you and the people you serve, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow for another episode of the Caregiver Minute.